this is the best free add-on that you can download from the marketplace right now, and this is a random add-on I downloaded for this video. It is such a hilarious difference, but it's also just one of thousands of choices that you can make from outside of the game versus literally just a handful inside of it. Prominent Java players have been assuming that add-ons for Bedrock are all paid, and although we could just point fingers and laugh at Java players for not understanding how Bedrock works, let's be honest, a lot of Bedrock players don't know that you could get this, or even this, which is running on my Xbox by the way, and so let's go through some of the very best add-ons you can get, as well as how you get them today. Minecraft would love nothing more than if you thought the only way you could get add-ons was to go to the marketplace with this button that conveniently says add-ons, and then you download everything via there. You can spend up to $41 this way. I know that because I actually have downloaded every single add-on. This is great, and there are lots of benefits to this, but you can just go to Google and type in Minecraft add-ons, and you'll immediately find that there are CurseForge giving away Minecraft add-ons. There's also MCPEDL, 9Minecraft.net, as well as other options like Tinker, and if you really want to, you could find Planet Minecraft. They all have add-ons that you can download, but most people use either CurseForge or MCPEDL. So MCPEDL has the huge advantage of just being Minecraft Bedrock. Anything you find on here, even PokeRock or Actual Guns 3D, you know for a fact will specifically be for the Bedrock edition. I have to have no fears about it accidentally being Java. However, there is a big downside that comes with this when it comes to actually downloading, because you don't download straight from the website. Instead, usually these add-on makers aren't paid by the website, so you get paid, they get paid via some weird indirect click on add link, whereas CurseForge is much better with their creators. They will pay them directly, and so if I want to download, look, what's the best interesting looking one? Dog Armor add-on, I can download it straight from them, and the ad comes from the website itself. You know it's going to be safe, and as a result, you know that the add-on maker is still being paid, but you're not exposing yourself to any weird websites. So MCPODL is the better experience for the user, but worse for the creator, whereas CurseForge is better for the creator and worse for the user. But in either case, you can download add-ons quite easily. So after downloading, all I had to do was rename the file and then open it with Minecraft, and now I can apply it to the world like it is any other add-on I've downloaded from the marketplace. And so welcome to the More Structures add-on. This is, funnily enough, something you cannot do with a regular Minecraft add-on, but as you can see, wow, look at that. There is a house already here at spawn. This is something no add-on currently does, but I just got right from the internet. So yeah, this house is actually kind of a weird concept to me. Like, it's kind of abandoned and kind of has some stuff in already. I'm not sure if this is what I would want, but actually, you know, I've changed my mind. I would love to have some sticks and some iron. Thank you very much. There's a whole second floor of a bed, as well as a bonus chest as well, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, this is an entire add-on full of structures, and so if we look around, you might find apparently skyblock style islands, but that's not the only thing. But also we have new types of trees. As you can see on the beach here, we have these weird entirely shaven trees, makes me feel a bit like I'm in the Let's Play world, and all sorts of other additions, because that is what this add-on is very dedicated towards. I think if we head over here, you can see there's some stone in the distance. Okay, that was actually a pile of gravel, which is a very confusing idea for a structure. It makes me feel like there's going to be a trail ruins there, but instead... Oh, wait. Did you see that? No, okay. What? Why does this exist? I'm not sure. But what I can say is that over here, there actually is some stone. It looks almost like a miniature grave site or a campsite or something like that. It's kind of cool to just have around the world. A little bit of a ruin that almost reminds me of the console edition. I feel as though structures are really hard to balance in Minecraft. I've been recently working on adding a bunch to the game. It's been taking hours and hours out of my week, because actually making a decent Minecraft structure is harder than just building something in Minecraft. It needs to feel like it naturally exists there, and sometimes the structure spacing can make that feel odd. Like, why are there two ruins this close together that identically match, despite nothing else being around them? It's really hard to balance, and so I feel the challenge that they've had with this one. Yet, at the same time, I think it's important to note that as nice of a house as this was, and it surely took some time to build, an abandoned house isn't an interesting Minecraft structure because it just becomes a useful stopping place across your Minecraft world. This is nice, but is one of the things that I think players are meant to do. Structures should add to the player experience, and the exploration that comes with them should be a bonus. It shouldn't replace it, in my opinion. I can see where they struggle, though, when you look at something like this and you say, say, well, I mean, this is just a partially built house. That's also just as confusing as a fully built house, which I guess can also be just as confusing as like a village, which only really makes sense and adds to your Minecraft world because there are villagers there. And also is an important point to reference of this, that because this is an add-on that just adds onto Minecraft, it does have the problem of sometimes having these structures collide with your regular Minecraft ones. This can be a really big plus. I think it's a very funny thing, but it also can slightly remove from your regular Minecraft experience, something you should definitely keep in mind. Although personally, I'm just going to enjoy the free cherry wood that spawns around the world. So yeah, the fact that you can add structures via add-on is really, really cool, but I think this one misses the mark. But again, if you wanted this in regular Minecraft, you couldn't have it, so I'm still going to say it's worth checking out. Just maybe there might be a better one. So this next add-on solves one of Minecraft's oldest problems, which is that we've had 36 inventory spaces for as long as Minecraft has had an inventory. However, they've added hundreds of items since then. There are literally a factor of dozens times more things that you can collect, but the same amount of space with which to do so. And so what if there was a solution to this? Well, that's what this actually claims to do, because this is a small backpack, which I can now carry on me, and as you can see, this single item can now store all of these extra slots. Presumably, I'm just entirely guessing here, you can put this on your back, on your legs or your head. Okay, but you carry around the backpack, and it kind of functions like a shulker box, but one which you can access while still seeing your inventory and while walking around just like this. And even better, this is a small backpack, as you can see. We can actually upgrade it if we really want to. So if we have the small backpack and then also some of these things, we can upgrade to medium. We can then upgrade to big if we really want to. You'd better believe I want to do that. And a big backpack will allow you to have all of this space. And then if you take one of these big backpacks and surround it by some netherite scrap, which is very much an idea, you can get an extra big backpack. And now look at this, my single inventory slot, which is one of my 36, can now store a whopping is that 64? Let me check. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It's an 8x8 grid that for some reason has this bottom right spot blank. I have no idea why they do that. If this was 64, not only would it be a perfect grid, but you'd have around 100 item slots total. But whatever, it's a very small complaint. Let's put some stuff in the backpack and then let's drop it on the ground and let's see if it maintains your stuff just like a shulker box would. It looks like it does. That's kind of handy, huh? And yeah, it's really cool they put this on there. I do think that a lot of add-on creators do need more credit, so Do Dimple, congratulations. This is actually a pretty cool way to add something in on the meme place. However, I would also like to say, why does the backpack not go on my back? Have I misunderstood something? Do I have to equip it maybe? Is it an offhand item? That would make more sense, but it's not. It just sits in your inventory and it can be whatever size you want it to be. The backpack is meant to be like a more accessible shulker box, more like a bundle in terms of how you craft it, but more like a shulker box in terms of the value it brings, and really even better than a shulker box by the time you add ancient debris. It's effectively a netherite or ancient debris shulker box, and honestly, I kind of love it for that. However, it is kind of simple. This is the thing about the marketplace, because it is Mojang, and so therefore they have certain standards and requirements. This can be really beneficial, but it means that certain free add-ons you might really like might not meet that quality bar or might not meet the size threshold, and so if you wanted backpacks, it's going to be a very long time before you find this anywhere on the marketplace, but you can download something like this or even smaller, because the next add-on I wanted to check out was Dynamic Light. So dynamic lighting exists solely as a way to solve a problem I'm sure we've all had at some point, which is having to slowly torch up an area just to get light there when you already have the torches in your hand. As you can see, the way this dynamic lighting add-on works is by making it so that any light held in your hand can work effectively this way. In fact, it goes a step further by making your offhand slightly more usable, because you can put torches in there and now you can carry light around with you in the Minecraft world. So the funny thing about this is Minecraft themselves have said, yeah, we can't add this feature to the game, it'd be too computationally expensive, and yet here we are with not one add-on from the marketplace, Hiker's Friend adding it, but a second add-on, which has existed long before then, outside of the game as well. I'm sure there are many other versions of this existing, but as you can see, the dynamic lighting is working well enough. I would say it suffers from exactly the same problem that Hiker's Friend has, which is to say, it's not actually dynamic lighting, it's lighting that adjusts every time you move a block. So you can see it's kind of got this weird blocky and almost laggy effect if you're walking diagonally. I don't think this looks perfectly natural, but if this works well, and there are issues of jumping sometimes, but if this works works well enough, this is actually a big improvement for many people. This is the sort of add-on you might want, but you might not think is worth, downloading and having to get a specific item for. In my opinion, this is the much better implementation, because instead of having to go through all of the pain of crafting a lantern, and that lantern only works if it's held on you in a certain way, instead every torch and every light source works exactly how you expect. Fun fact, I have a lantern here, and that lantern will still work just as predicted, and I imagine it would work with even less powerful light sources. In fact, let's find out. So I was expecting when I switched to the redstone torch that the light level would go much dimmer, but instead any light source in your hand, no matter how dim, will count as a full light source and will light everything up around you. Something I wasn't expecting. So yeah, there are add-ons like this that have minor utility, and I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of charm to some of these. There's also a lot of confusion to them, and a lot of wishing that you had more, which is why I'm excited to try out this next one. So this is better on Bedrock. It is very heavily marketed using the end part of the update, but it actually does change a few things about the overworld as well. You can probably notice a couple of those already. One of those are these weird plants you can see right here. They seem to be wild carrots. That's a nice addition to the world. And then you can also see they've updated sheep, which means you get some slightly more realistic sheep colors. What a wonderful addition to the world. But the main thing that we're going to be talking about today is the end half of this, because as much as I love the idea of deer and wild carrots, and honestly I do think that Minecraft add-ons for Bedrock are something that can be seriously improved. Wait, actually... So I was gonna shift right to the end, but look at this right here. Oh, it's a pillager boat, because I guess, logically speaking, if it hasn't sunken yet, it's still got people on it. Oh, that's actually a fun little addition to the world. But yeah, most of this update, it is very much a mod pack, so it's a collection of little features, but the big ones are in the end, and so let's go there right now by, of course, defeating the dragon, and I'm just kidding, we're gonna set block and portal. So the main end fight is more or less what you can expect from regular Minecraft, because this hasn't been touched. Instead, Poggy has decided to do what I think we've been asking Mojang to do forever, and give us an end island update, and so that is where this update focuses on, and you can see already there's at least 3 distinct separate biomes out there. Let's go check them out. Okay, now we can live Minecraft as if we spawned out here in the end islands, and we can enjoy what I have to assume is a new type of wood, because wow, look at these trees. This is just single-handedly a cool thing that would make the end islands worth visiting in their own rights, because you would want some shrub logs. These shrub logs turn into dusk planks. I've also got some spruce planks, but that's unrelated. And then you can use these dusk planks the same as any other way, which seems fun enough by itself. I then can presumably use these to go in a cave and maybe find something else. No, it's not a cave, it's just weird end generation. Although, there is in fact some ores over here. Let's see if I can mine those with just a wooden pickaxe. I genuinely don't know for sure if I could. The answer is actually no. You can't make a wooden pickaxe with dusk planks. Instead, you could make a basic staff, which is fun enough, and presumably we could also, again, make a whole bunch of different doors. But what can we make in terms of stuff? I was kind of excited, but I was saying a second ago, there is enderite tools, and there are stardust tools. So there's lots of fun options, but what are the dust planks good for then? Oh dear God, I was just trying to find out. Okay, you know, I don't know if this is gonna be bad for me, but I'm just gonna kill it just in case. You never know when, so okay. My basic staff is very basic, but it hopefully won't get me obliterated. Okay, I got this, we good, we good. It feels like I should be taking damage from this mob right now, but instead, no. There is a miniature boss fight, and so I would probably be best making a sword of some form. So while I fight this Seeker and make some progress in this end add-on, I should quickly mention the difference between getting things via the marketplace and getting them via a place like MCPEDL like I did. There is a difference in how creators are compensated, and it is actually quite drastic. The reason that, you know, it's not silly to buy something on the marketplace when you can just download things for free is because all of these creators have to be paid somehow, and on Curse, they generally get paid by Curse themselves. It's roughly a cent or so per download, but it varies month to month. And then there's MCPEDL, where they will pay you nothing to host your content there, but you have to have some form of advertising website between there and your link. This is why you sometimes have weird pop-ups you have to click and the advertising links, and sometimes it's not very pleasant of an experience, but it's because those creators need to get paid. And it's just an important thing in case you think like, oh, the add-ons outside the marketplace are kind of scummy. It's not that they're being scummy because they want to be, it's because they literally will not get paid for their work otherwise. This is something I think MCPEDL should fix because they're getting paid a lot of money on the back of these people's works, but that's a different point for a different time. For now, it's just important that the creators of things that you like get supported, so if there's any way you can do that, it's a really good thing. And it's also a great time for me to almost finish building this bridge because there's a structure over here, it looks like. I think that this add-on also has some issues of update blocks. It's a very interesting thing that Minecraft has in general. But yeah, here we can see there is a new type of block. It is chiseled malbite. That's a fun name for something. I'm guessing this is meant to be a cobblestone equivalent, although they're called malbite bricks, which makes me think that's less likely. Who knows for sure? But yeah, these are some malbite bricks, which I could use to make something new, I assume. But at bare minimum, it's an interesting structure that exists here in the End Islands. Also, by the way, have you noticed there's some weird glowing Endermen? Do you think there's a good reason to kill them? I feel like we have to find out. Oh, it's just a regular ender pearl. Although you can use it to make a smeared pearl if you have some blackstone crumbs. Or ender stew. Wow. There is a lot going into this. It is closer to what you would traditionally think of as a mod pack when compared to an add-on, which is what makes it so impressive. It can just be applied and unapplied to a world directly inside of Minecraft itself. This is what Mojang has that they're so proud of that they think they should be selling. A tiny fraction of what you can do with add-ons is available via the marketplace, and people are still impressed of that. Imagine how impressed they'll be when stuff like this eventually hits the shelves. What do you think this is, by the way? Oh. Okay, it's like a stalactite, but end spores. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. There's plants here too. Incredible. So as well as the biome, mob, and structure we've seen so far, there is an entirely different looking biome you can see right here with an entirely different type of wood. And then there's yet another biome, which as you can see is kind of like a desert, an end desert if you will. This is the perfect place for somewhere like this, but yet it still manages to have some wildlife that fits the place quite naturally, but very otherworld alien feeling. Also, you might notice another structure, these big towers around the place. I wonder what's in there. You know, should we go find out? I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm desperately hoping that it's food at this point because I'm out of a lot of my resources. You know, how about I just jump down there where there is a chest. In fact, there's multiple chests. It's gonna be like the end version of a desert temple, I bet. Oh, okay. So that's an enderman tier. Always love to see those. We got some obsidian, blocks of coal. Wow, I don't think blocks of coal can be found in chests in the default Minecraft game. I don't think there's a very good reason why, but they can't. And then there's a ladder. Oh, awesome. Oh, look at me. I am just spoiled for choice. 4 more chests with incredibly enchanted gear. This is actually very fun. I do question the overall balance of this. I kind of want to play this add-on in its entirety at some point. It's the problem with like expansion-sized add-ons is you really do need some hours to truly get the grips of them in a real legit world. It's, you know, there's an argument that when you're playing with add-ons, are you really ever playing legit? But I think that some add-ons actually try to balance around the survival experience, and this looks like it's one of them. From up here, we can see there's a whole nother looking biome over there, and we can see that really the End Islands is a place you actually would want to explore for at least some amount of time, something that is very different compared to the current End experience. Anyway, let's go. Oh, that's gotta please, bro. You know, I'll teleport any second now though, right? Yeah! But yeah, this was a solid add-on. Would 100% recommend it. It's the one I most want to play again so far, but we'll see if that stays the case. The 5th add-on I want to show off today is one I've wanted to use for entirely different reasons, because instead of being a great survival add-on pack, this is SI Silicon's WorldEdit for Bedrock. WorldEdit is a very powerful tool that exists on the Java edition, and here is a similar version for Bedrock, you might say. How does it work? I genuinely have no idea. We're gonna have to work this out together. Are there items in the creative inventory? It actually looks like there are, huh? The mask picker and the pattern picker? What is a pattern picker? Let's find out. So we're gonna... Okay, I set pattern block to grass. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with this right now. Yeah, they actually took over the how to play menu to give you this little bit of a pro tip, which is that you do not have permission to use WorldEdit by default. You have to give it to yourself using a command. That is interesting to know. Okay, so I think I understand how this works now. Let me show you. So first things first, we have this thing called the navigation wand. It looks like an ender pearl, but actually, as you can see, it immediately teleports you wherever you're looking instead of working like an ender pearl, so that's kind of cool. But then what we also have is the ability to make cubes in the air, which we'll later be able to alter. So pos 1, we'll set one of the positions, and every cube is just made up of 2 separate corners, really, if you think about it. So we set pos2 to being over here. We now have a cuboid area, which we can fill using, I think it's the kit command. There we go, that's a whole kit of stuff. And so now I just use my pattern picker, and then I'll fill the selection with that pattern. But now what I could do is I could add another block to the pattern picker, like this stone, and then I could fill, I guess I could probably pick multiple blocks maybe? And then, no, we can only pick the one. Why do I have a wooden axe? What do you think it does? It must do something. Oh, it's a position setter. So now what I could do is I could copy, and then I could set a new position, presumably. And then we could paste, maybe. I'm a little worried about what it's going to do. There we go. Oh, so you can now move around the world, pasting this as you go. This is very handy. Look at the complexity of what I just made in just a few seconds of WorldEdit. Look how beautiful it looks. So in theory, I can even use this to cut blocks away from some parts of my world and move them somewhere else. Okay, we are now cutting the blocks. It's very hard to do this, honestly. Cutting lots of blocks very quickly. Kind of painful. But we can cut the blocks, and then if we want to, we can paste them over here. And if we want to, we can continuously paste them and make a fresh new mountain. So because this isn't limited like Minecraft, in theory, you could do a lot more than regular Minecraft commands can do. So in theory, I could remove this entire mountain. Just gonna cut that right now. Oh, yeah, look at that. And then we're gonna say, you know, I think this mountain deserves to be somewhere else in the world. You can take an entire biome and just move it around. So as well as the things that Minecraft already does that WorldEdit does better, it also does lots of things that Minecraft can't even touch, such as the ability to use brushes, and honestly, one of the smallest additions, but I think is most fascinating, is this. So I've made a giant cube right here. There are more blocks in this cube than you could alter with a regular Minecraft command, but then you can use more powerful commands. So you can use the set block to say that you want all of that to be glass, for example, which is fun. As you can see, I just placed 87,000 blocks of glass in one command, but then you could be a little bit fun and you could say, I want it to be 50-50 grass and glass. And so if you do that, then it will decide that at random, every block should either be grass or glass, which gives you something that looks like this. Absolutely fascinating, right? I mean, you could use that with stone, and you get like this almost like cave game feeling kind of vibe to things. Isn't that just intriguing? Also, it uses the same pattern, so there's clearly a procedural generation element to that. But you could also use this for a lot more blocks. So you go glass, stone, and then you could go with like, I don't know, clay. Is it a clay or a clay block, actually? Oh, it is clay, and now we've got 3 separate blocks at random in this giant cube. It's something that you can't even conceive of doing in regular Minecraft in a meaningful way, but you can just do it right here if you really want to, and you can make almost like a little puzzle room, but it's entirely randomly generated. Or you could go another step further if you wanted to. Here is one that I found fun. This is from their own documentation, but you could do a fun combination of percentages of one and then percentage of another. So 20% wool, 80% stone. Looks like this. It's randomly picking the wool colors. Or you could go for an even smaller percentage if you want to. So 10% wool, 80% stone. Actually, how does the math work on that? I don't know. But and then we could have, I don't know, 10% be diamond blocks. So I think it'd be diamond right there, underscore block maybe. And wow, look at that. Now we can make terrain. I do think this is absolutely wild, the possibilities of what you could use this for. You could actually have procedurally generated terrain that has wool blocks in there at a random percent. It doesn't work like ores, because obviously they're individual blocks, but still, absolutely wild what you could do with this add-on. It's something I definitely need to play around with if I'm ever making very large pieces of terrain for maps, and so it's useful that I got to give it a shot. This will never be on the marketplace, as best I can tell, unless the marketplace goes fully open and unless they want people to have access to stuff like this. But I imagine there are lots of things that are on the marketplace that use this and maybe don't necessarily say anything about it, because this is insane. The power and the control that you get is nuts. Speaking of nuts, though, I feel like at this point, we could say, yep, that's 5 add-ons. But there are some things that I want to mention, because even though these are probably the most constructive uses for add-ons, let's be honest, if you have free access to anything all of the time, you can be as unconstructive as you like, and so it was at this point I was going to show people how to get these add-ons on Xbox, because the theory is if you just use a realm, you can have any add-on that you saw in this video, but working on any console edition if you just move it across that way. However, my reality was when I used the More Guns add-on, look how great it looks here on the Windows 10 version, but as soon as I tried to load it up on Xbox, even though it was also on the preview, immediately everything fell apart and it looked like this, which is funny in its own way that it keeps saying kill mob, but also it makes me realize that lots of things will not work. The most interesting thing I could get to work in any way was just deferred rendering, and it's beautiful and crazy that you can run this on a console, but they won't give you the option to run it natively. But ultimately, I think what this proves is that all of the things you've seen today are one day going to be saleable via the Minecraft marketplace. Right now, downloading from outside the marketplace though has huge benefits over inside of it. One, to the end user, it's free. You just pay in the weird ads you have to watch to find the content. Two is the fact that it has greater access to Minecraft. There is no add-on right now that has fully custom commands, and I imagine it will be a very long time before that. None of the experimental features, which all of these add-ons could use, are usable by default ones, so it just creates a huge power difference. And speaking of power difference, thirdly is the number of add-ons available. There are still just 15 available on the marketplace at time of recording, versus literally thousands you can find on MCP DL alone. There are lots of passionate add-on creators out there, and you can download their stuff overwhelmingly for free, and it is better, and there is more of it, and so it makes you question, why does the marketplace even exist then? Because Microsoft likes money. Okay, it would be too easy at this point just to say money, although that is no doubt one of the big motivations behind the company doing this, but also it is a way to add more types of content to the marketplace, which is both a revenue raiser. Even the free add-ons, by the way, they pay the teams to create these, and they know when people come to the marketplace for free things, you're more likely to buy something that is paid. That's why there's so many free events. They're still paying the creators, so everyone is making their money on this, but ultimately there is a second reason too, and it's to provide a better experience for people who do want modded Minecraft. Minecraft is very aware that there are a substantial number of people who like the game, but then kind of get bored of it. They need the intense amount of content that exists out there. This is something every big video game that almost becomes a platform has. They allow the community to make more content for it, and so the more accessible they make this, the more people will play Minecraft, and this is great news for Microsoft as a company because they can use this to make money all of the other places, but there is also a more user-focused reason. The third, and perhaps one of the biggest ones, is that unlike every other add-on you download on the internet, where staying up to date with it can be quite hard, you've downloaded it, but you're going to need to recheck every time there's an update. Let's be honest, not everyone's going to do that. The marketplace comes with free updates and everything else built in. If there are bugs that can be fixed, if there are updates to features, you can find these straight in the marketplace, and if you don't believe it, let me show you the Computers add-on. Now, previously, the Computer add-on required you to use a wrench to break the computers, which is something that lots of people, I'll be honest, myself included, were not necessarily understanding perfectly, and so what he can do is he can just release an update to the add-on, and by pressing this update button, you could even just go through and update them all periodically, everything that you own and all of the worlds will immediately update from the current version to that newest one. Well, if the download works, that is. You know, there was one point I had in your favor, Minecraft, here, and I don't know that you're succeeding in proving it. 1 minute, 37 seconds later. You know, I was going to have a whole redemption arc for the marketplace. I do think that this is better because it's more accessible, and ultimately that will lead to more audiences being able to download the add-ons, but also it will lead to more creators being able to be paid for their work. But one of the biggest benefits of the marketplace is kind of hit and miss as to whether it actually works. Let's try this one maybe. Come on. Oh, no, okay. But, you know, in general, you can download add-ons, and the add-ons will be updated for a very long time afterwards, especially if it gets 73,000 plus downloads, and that is a big win for creators, for end users. And honestly, Microsoft is happy they're making money in the end there, but that doesn't mean that you need to write off the entire concept. Or maybe it does. It's up to you to decide on that one. But yeah, add-ons are a lot of fun, but just remember, if you don't like the ones which you find on the marketplace, and if you find, if you think that Minecraft are being too cautious or they're not releasing the stuff you truly want, then you can find stuff from outside of the game, and hopefully this video has been useful for that. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was a fantasy to you, because I'll see you in the next one. Bye.